Hello students, welcome to 8th standard geography class. Today we are going to start with lesson number 12, India Human Resource, which is given on page number 138 to 143 of your geography book. In this module, you will learn about the concept of human resource, type of human resource, population in India, factors affecting the distribution of population, population composition, and the place of residence. Before we start the topic, let's discuss the important terms of the chapter. Number one is human resource. Human beings are considered as the human resource. Skilled human resource, people who require special training and knowledge. Semi-skilled human resource, people who require less training as compared to skilled human beings and more training than unskilled human resource. Unskilled human resource, people who does not require any special training and skills. These are few important terms I have discussed with you. Rest we will discuss side by side during explanation. Let's start with the topic India Human Resource. Our earth is endowed with a variety of natural resources such as water, forests, soil, animals, minerals, etc. But these resources are useful only with the presence of human resource. Human beings are considered as a human resource. They are called so as only they can discover, exploit, and develop the natural resource into useful products. Thus, human beings are the most significant resource of the earth. The population of a country is the people living there. It is broadly divided into three sections. 14 years and under consists of children. 15 to 60 years make the adults group. And 60 years and above are termed as the senior citizens. Adults are capable of working and form the national wealth. They possess knowledge, skills, abilities, making them individual human resources. Human resources are most important assets to firm. If absent of all other non-living resources are useless. Natural and material resources cannot produce goods on their own. Human resources provide the knowledge, skills, intelligence, and the required workforce to produce goods. Efforts of human resources can be seen in all fields. So let's start with the book reading. Students, take out your page number 138, lesson number 12, India Human Resources. Types of human resource. In ancient times, most of the tasks were done manually. Thus, it was considered that more population will support more production followed by more prosperity. But the scenario has changed with the advancement of science and technology. Now, most of the work is done by machines. The machines and other instruments are run by skilled workers. Hence, more emphasis is being placed on skills. The whole working population can be categorized into skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled human resources. Skilled human resource refers to the person who required special training and knowledge for its satisfactory performance. Example: carpenters, construction workers, painters, plumbers, electricians, paramedics, doctors, software engineers, etc. Semi-skilled human resource refers to those who required less training as compared to skilled human resources and more training than unskilled human resources. Example: cleaners, maids, etc. The last category is unskilled human resource. It refers to those who do not require any special training and skills. Example: farm laborers, street vendors, etc. There are a number of factors that help in enhancing the capabilities of human resources. Here, enhancing means to improve something, and capabilities means ability to do something. Number one is balanced diet. A balanced diet is important because your organs and tissues need proper nutrition to work effectively. Number second is sanitation. Sanitation is a system aimed to protect human health by providing a clean environment that will stop the transmission of disease, especially through oral route. Sanitation is important for all, helping to maintain health and increase lifespans. Number three is proper infrastructure. The infrastructure is important for faster economic growth in the country. The adequate infrastructure in the form of road and railway transport system, ports, power, airports, and their efficient working is also needed for integration of the Indian economy with other economics of the world. Next is tools and machines. A nation vastly superior in its machine tools, population is possessed of a potential for production of instruments of war that surpassed in its importance the ability to produce soldiers. And the last one is educational facilities. Good health and good education are very important for the development of human resource. A healthy person can work for longer hours. Education refers to the systematic process of gaining knowledge and skills. It helps in building good opinions and in taking right decisions. Thus, educated and healthy human resources are the blessing for a nation. They can take the nation to great heights with their knowledge, skills, and hard work. Next point is population in India. The population of a country can be defined as the total number of people who live in the country. India is one of the most populous countries of the world. It is the world's second most populous country after China. According to the census survey 2011, India's population is about 1.3 billion. Our country covers just 2.4% of the land area of the world, while it is the home of about 17.5% of the world's population. Hence, our country is termed as overpopulated. Census means an official count of the population to maintain a record of the people is called census. Overpopulation. It is a state of population growth when the population growth rate is higher than the national income. However, this population is not evenly distributed in India. Some areas are densely populated while some are sparsely populated. The map shows the state-wise distribution of population in India. Before understanding the map, we will understand the term density of population. Density of population refers to the number of people living in 1 square kilometer. Population density is the number of people per unit of area. It is calculated by dividing the total population of area by the total land area. Population distribution can also be shown by density of population in each area. This map shows the highly populated areas in India. Example, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh comes in highly populated areas of India. Next is moderately populated areas. The states come in this part, that is Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, etc. Next is least populated areas, in which Rajasthan, Gujarat, Jammu and Kashmir, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, and other northeastern states comes. The distribution of population is very uneven. It is due to the following factors. Number one is geographical factors, water availability, landforms, climate, soils. They are also known as physical factors. that attracts people. The areas with such facilities are highly populated. Economic and cultural factors, like physical factors, the availability of good economic and cultural factors such as minerals, industries, transport, and government policies also provide adequate conditions of the people to settle in area. Such areas also provide employment facilities that attract more people. Next point is population composition. It refers to the physical, social, and economic attributes of the population. It includes age composition, sex ratio, place of residence, literacy, religion, etc. In this chapter, we will discuss only about sex ratio and the place of residence, which can be either urban or rural. Sex ratio. Sex ratio refers to the ratio of males to females. It is shown as the number of females per thousand males. In India, sex ratio is not favorable to women. Since decades, India has seen a decrease in the sex ratio. The states like Punjab, Haryana have very less sex ratio, but Kerala shows a different and positive picture of sex ratio. It has more females than males. This ratio is 1036 females per thousand males. Presently, the government of India has initiated a number of programs to save the girl child and to improve the sex ratio of our country. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao is one of those programs. Next point is the place of residence. The population of India can also be classified into rural and urban on the basis of the place of residence. Rural population, the part of population that lives in villages or rural areas, is considered as the rural population. More than two-thirds of our population lives in villages. The states like Himachal Pradesh, Bihar, Nagaland, South Haryana, Andhra Pradesh have more rural population as compared to the other states. Next is urban population. The number of people that live in the urban areas are considered as the urban population. About 31% of the total population of India live in urban areas. Chandigarh, Delhi, North Haryana, Tamil Nadu have high proportion of urban population. So students, this is all about human resource chapter. Hope you understand. You have to revise this and solve the back exercise. We will meet very soon. Till then, have a nice day.